I'll tell you what, folks, it has been just about 2 months since the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series has hit the racetrack, but in real life, after getting some issues with the computer taken care of, some dust cleaned off, and some adjustments made so that way all the hot air can get blown out, we're officially back in business a lot earlier than announced. It has been 56 days since the Pepsi Amateur Series has been on the racetrack, but as I said, we're back for the lone road course race of the season right here at the Watkins Glen International. And man, oh man, this is going to be very interesting. Like I said, 56 days since these drivers have been on the racetrack. No practice, no qualifying, just a draw. And to the luck of that, you see on the front row, it is Sean Ard in the number 88. He is your pole sitter for this race. And then Addison Jarrell, who lines up alongside. Jarrell inside of the top 5 of the point standings, which we're going to review those here in just a little bit. And then Sean Ard. Sean Ard has just had himself kind of that quiet season, which has appeared to be good, but however, the points don't seem to back it up. He is 30th in the point standings, or sorry, 31st. 31st in the standings. So, if he wins here today, it could mean huge, huge things for him. If you weren't with us for the previous Michigan race all the way back on May 29th, then you weren't in for a pretty thrilling or very interesting kind of finish to the race. It was a 30-lapper. At the end of it all, Mitchell Collins had somehow played the pit strategy into his favor to where everybody in front of him was on the tail end of the lead lap, and he managed to just cruise to victory after probably Billy Kidd and I think a few other drivers had some minimal damage to their cars but affected them in such a big way. But Mitchell Collins was the only one unscathed out of every single incident that we had on the racetrack back in Michigan, and that allowed him to pull away for the victory. Alrighty, folks, here we go. Here's a look at your point standings coming into Watkins Glen. It is Tyler Ferris and Shauna Martin who are both tied for the points lead, but because of the win that Tyler Ferris had, that he earned back at Talladega, he has the points lead. That puts Shauna Martin in second. Shauna's just had herself a really good season so far, being very consistent, and so far, and the tiebreaker is going to be who finishes ahead of who. Ryan Fowler, speaking of, is third. That's our Daytona winner. Nathan Stapleton in fourth. Addison Jarrell, who I just mentioned, she is fifth on the point standings. Then Bradley Ream had himself a pretty good season as well. He is in sixth. Bronson Minnick, seventh. Carter Joey in the eighth position. Our Pocono winner. Foster Henderson, ninth. And David Byers, another driver who has had himself a very consistent season. He rounds out the top 10. As we come into the second half of the season, do expect the point standings to get shaken up just a little bit more, because once we get down to these final 6 races here, once we get the green flag for Watkins Glen.
NASCAR fans, say it with me. Drivers, start your engine! Drivers, to your cars.
I think that might have been the controller. Anyways. Alrighty, so here's a look at your point standings coming into today's race. It is Shauna Martin and Tyler Ferris who are tied for the points lead, but Tyler Ferris easily breaks that tie because of the win that he earned at Talladega all the way back in April. Ryan Fowler is in third in the point standings with his win at Daytona. Nathan Stapleton is in the fourth position. Addison Jarrell, whom we just mentioned, is in fifth. Bradley Ream is in the sixth position. Bronson Minnick having himself a pretty good season. He is in seventh, and Carter Joey is in eighth. Both are also tied, but because of Microsoft Excel physics, Bronson Minnick breaks the tie. Foster Henderson in ninth, and David Byers rounds out the top 10. some drivers who are up at the front of the field are pretty much in desperate need of some really good runs here in today's race to get themselves on track. Sean Arndt, whom I just mentioned, he is your pole sitter. There's a really good chance that if things go his way, he will be the winner of this event. I mean, you've also got a few other drivers in there, like Val Mosco. He'll need a good run in this race. The Joey Miles, Chad Myers, Owen Miles, a lot of drivers that are very deep in the point standings. They're going to need some really good runs if they want to try to get their second half of the 2021 season right on track. Well, folks, I think I've said what I need to, so I'm going to hold my peace for this segment. The drivers are strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up, but in order to get these 34 cars going around the racetrack, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
NASCAR fans, say it with me. Drivers, start your engines!
Engines are fired. Pace cars rolling off, and so are the drivers. And as they go around this track for their pace laps, here is your starting lineup for Watkins Glen, race number 7. The drivers have just received 1 to go, and once they get through turns 6 and 7, or turns 10 and 11, I believe. But anyways, once they get through this final left-hander and this final right-hander, we'll be set to go green flag racing. There you see on the front row, Sean Arndt, Addison Jarrell, Ryan Fowler, and Jimmy Hogan, Easton Myers, Carter Joey, Stephen Colon, Noah Clifton, Val Mosco, and Ronald House make up the top 10. It's been 56 days since the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series has been on the racetrack, but finally, we're going to see it. The green flag is going to fall, and the second half of the 2021 season is underway. Three wide going into turn number 1. Ronald House wasting no time at all in trying to get up to the front of the field. And he'll need to. Ronald House is 28th coming into this race. That's just in the point standings. So he'll need a good run along with a lot of other drivers who are starting up near the front of the field. As I mentioned, Easton Myers is another one. Easton comes into this... Actually, no, Easton Myers, I mean, he could still use a pretty good run. Easton Myers comes into this race 11th in the standings. He's in a pretty good spot, but he is just 6 points shy of breaking inside of the top 10. So if he gets a good run today, he'll probably get himself inside of the top 10. Sean Arndt managed to get the lead coming out of turn number 1, and from there he is not looking back. He's got a mirror full of Addison Jarrell, who's got a mirror full of Ryan Fowler, so on and so on further back. And it's Sean Arndt leading lap number 1, getting that first bonus point to his RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series tenure, or towards his championship run. I mean, even though he is 30th in the standings, or 31st, sorry. But he's This is just 1 point closer to getting back on track for Sean Ard. Sean Ard has had himself some pretty good runs, very consistent, but he wasn't up front most of the time. Usually you find him mid-pack, closer to the back of the field, but here he is, second half of the season. He's qualified further up at the front, and he has a pretty good chance of winning this thing if things go his way. By the way, I do also want to mention no cautions for this one and only road course race. So these drivers, if they crash or have some sort of issue, that's it. There's no rebounding from it. So they're going to have to race their hearts out. Looks like we're going to have a battle here for, it looks like, the 14th position. Nathan Stapleton trying to knock on the door of Blaze Aitken, not able to do so. Meanwhile, battle further up at the front. Mitchell Collins, our Michigan winner, trying to get by David Byers. That is for the 12th spot. And it looks like he's going to get it. But David Byers is going to fight right back. He's going to try everything he can, but he's going to have to slip right back in behind Mitchell Collins. Everybody immediately going single file in this race. Carter Joey going really wide through the bus on the exit of the bus stop. Joey currently running 6th in the race. He's 8th in the standings coming in. Definitely could use a very good run, because there's also just a little bit further back. That's our points leader. Currently scored as our points leader, one of 2 actually. But really, theoretically, he is the official points leader because of the win that he got over at Talladega. That is Tyler Ferris, who just had a huge block put on him by Bronson Minnick. But he comes in as the points leader, as I said earlier. Tyler Ferris does, but he's currently running 18th. And that's exactly what he needs, because Shauna Martin is running 24th, just 8 spots behind him. Ferris trying to go to work on Elijah Gordon in this number 27. Gordon coming in, finds himself 18th on the charts. That's only in the points standings. So, I mean, he's had himself a pretty good, consistent, but also very quiet kind of year. But it would also kind of be huge for him if he would manage to get his second half of the season on track. For the most part, Jimmy Hogan, our Stafford winner, currently running in 4th. No lead change, no changes up at the front of the field so far. It is still Sean Ard leading the charge. And if he's able to stay out front in these next 5 laps, he would have clinched the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. Battle for 4th now. Easton Myers trying to get underneath of Jimmy Hogan for the 4th position. Looks like Myers is going to be able to achieve that. Hogan trying to get back at him. Similar position to what Byers was in earlier in this race. He's going to have to stay right behind in this number 38 and try to capitalize. Battle further back in the field. That's Quentin Moore in the 0 trying to get by the 6 of Billy Kidd. He's going to be able to do so going into the bus stop. Shauna Martin is in some serious traffic here. If she wants to work her way up, she was 8 spots behind. Now she's 7 spots behind, but still a pretty decent margin over Shauna Martin. Tyler Ferris has. I mean Tyler Ferris has a decent margin over Shauna Martin. Tyler Ferris does, but still, it's early in the race and pit stops are coming up, so do expect them to kind of pop up right around the halfway point of this race. Probably somewhere as early as lap 8, maybe as late as lap 10 or 11. It depends on when these drivers come down pit road. So they know that they're not going to be able to make it on one set of tires and one tank of fuel. They are going to have to make their pit stops. Stephen Colon going after Ronald House for position. That's the battle for 7th, I believe. The top 3 have broken away. Sean Ard, Addison Jarrell, Ryan Fowler, 88, 98, 78. And third car, 38. is running in fourth, trying to keep Jimmy Hogan behind him, and also Carter Joey in that number 55. The highest running Toyota in the field is in the 6th position. So we're riding along with Carter Joey. Let's go ahead and take a lap around Watkins Glen International here with Carter Joey. So you see right here, coming to the start-finish line, left side's right up against the white line, turn 1, heavy braking zone. You got to shift all the way down to first gear. It's okay to overdrive it just a little bit because of that section of the racetrack that has just been paved. Up through the S's, kind of feather the throttle just a little bit. Then this right-hander, where you can go full throttle and go really wide. Down the back straightaway, right up, left side's right up against the white line. Then this heavy braking zone straight into the bus stop. Then rights, lefts, then back to rights. Heading into turn number 7. Just feathering the throttle ever so slightly. Then down this straightaway into the final left-hander on the road course. Braking, downshifting maybe just a little bit. And then into the final corner, the final right-hander, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, a lap around Watkins Glen with Carter Joey, who still remains in the 6th position. So Cologne was able to get 7th from Ronald House a little bit earlier in the race. Now we got another battle going on here with Mitchell Collins and Val Moscow. Collins is going to get the position over Moscow. Moscow is going to try to fight back. And not the same case here. We had another change for position. Gordon lost the 16th spot to Tyler Ferris. So now Ferris is going to gain another position. And now it looks like Bronson Minnick is going to try to get around Elijah Gordon. But Gordon not able to... Well, Gordon is able to hold him off. Now Bronson Minnick and Bradley Ream are going at it for position. That looks like that is the battle for the 18th spot. The favor is going to go to Bradley Ream in this corner. He's going to get the advantage. But the advantage is going to go to... Well, it's going to go to Bradley Ream easily because... Our pit stops, this first round of green flag stops is just now beginning. Let's see who was the first car to come down pit road. That's a leader, Sean Ard, then Addison Jarrell, Cologne, House, Chad Myers, Mitchell Collins, Gordon, and others on pit road. So this is going to hand the lead over to Ryan Fowler in the number 78. Easton Myers now moves up to 2nd. Jimmy Hogan 3rd, Carter Joey in 4th, Noah Clifton coming up inside of the top 5. Now Clifton has kind of had himself that kind of up and down roller coaster of a season. We haven't really mentioned a whole lot about him. Right now he's 16th in the standings coming in. He's running top 5, but we know that these drivers in this group are going to come down to pit. The question is, out of these drivers that are still on the racetrack, which ones are going to stay out? So everybody else over here, they've just come back out onto the racetrack. Let's see who is coming in now. So it's Fowler and Myers and the 52 of Hogan, Joey. Looks like everybody in this group is coming in. Every single driver in this group is in. So depending on when Sean Ard comes around to pass pit road, it looks like Sean Ard is going to go back to the lead. So all these drivers getting 4 tires and fuel. Getting the left sides done. Now switching over to the right sides. Remember, pit stops are a little bit flipped here. Ryan Fowler is going to get out ahead of Easton Myers. Here comes Sean Ard. Is he going to be able to pass him in time? The answer is yes. Well, wait, maybe. Fowler got out ahead of Sean Ard, but Ard has the momentum coming around through the S's, and Sean Ard is going to go back to the lead. Addison Jarrell is going to lose the 2nd spot, and she'll slip back to 3rd. So now Fowler occupies the second position, but man, that was close. Ryan Fowler almost had it, but Sean Ard, because of the momentum that he had, carried him all the way to the lead, and Sean Ard is gone. But remember though, Fowler has one lap. Whoa, man! That was close! Stephen Colon, it looked like he almost got turned and put into the wall, but he saved that car. I don't know how, but he managed to do it. Let's scroll through the field here, see where everybody's at. See where a points leader is coming across the line. Let's see where everybody is right now. So now Tyler Ferris is being scored in 18th position. Oh man, so still the same distance between himself and Shauna Martin, just a matter of 8 spots. Man, that is huge. So now Addison Jarrell has retaken the second position from Ryan Fowler, who now goes back to third. Stephen Colon is under pressure, under fire from Ronald House and Carter Joey. Let's see what they do coming down into this final left-hander. We are inside of 10 laps to go. I did forget to mention that. So now the question is since these drivers did kind of come down a little bit earlier than what I thought, well, actually, no, I did kind of say they would come in around lap 8 or so. But now the question is, are all these drivers going to be able to make it? Are all these drivers going to be able to risk it all, or are they going to just risk it all, stay out there and try to finish the race, or are some of them not going to be able to make it? Because now the question is, since Sean Ard and others were the first ones to come down pit road, man, look at that lead that he's got. But since he was the first one to come down pit road, since he was the first one to leave, the question is he going to be able to nail this potentially, the potential final pit stop that could be coming up here in another 4 laps or so? It beats me on if we're going to have another pit stop, because fuel mileage can play a role in such mysterious ways. So Sean Ard pulls away a little over 1 1/4 seconds over Addison Jarrell coming across the start-finish line now. It'll be 6 laps to go. And Jarrell had gained by just 2/10. Check and see where everybody's at. Brandon Yolo trying to get a position on Foster Henderson. At least trying to. I'm also trying to look and see here, because actually, from the looks of things, I mean, between the points battle between Shauna Martin and Tyler Ferris, it's not going to be for the points lead. It's going to be for an entirely different spot, because remember, Ryan Fowler came into this race 3rd in the standings, 4 points behind both of these drivers. So, if he stays right where he's at, he is going to take the points lead away by a landslide. And Sean Ard, if he can actually stay right where he is, he's going to cruise to victory. 5 to go this time. Fowler taking a peek underneath of Addison Jarrell. He doesn't have a good enough run. He'll slip right back in behind as they go into this heavy braking zone that is turn number 1. 8/10 is now the difference between Ard and Jarrell. It's still a 3 to 4 car breakaway. Jimmy Hogan, Stephen Colon, Ronald House, Carter Joey, Chad Myers, Val Moscow all complete the top 10. Then you go on back to 11th through 20th. That's Mitchell Collins. That's also Noah Clifton, David Byers, Elijah Gordon having himself a good run. Blaze Aitken, Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton came into this race 4th in the standings. He might take a small, minor hit in the standings, but it shouldn't affect him too much, because you also got Tyler Ferris, who's running 18th, it's going to hurt him as far as this points battle is concerned. But again, it shouldn't be as bad. It probably shouldn't be as bad as probably somebody like Shauna Martin, who is also 8 spots behind Tyler Ferris. So Steven Alexander is 17th. Ferris, as I mentioned, is 18th. Bronson Minnick 19th, and then Quentin Moore completes the top 20. And the difference, the gap has shrunk by another 0.3. So now it's a half a second difference between Sean Ard and Addison Jarrell and company, as they are going to be coming to 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go this time by. It is still a 4-car breakaway. Jarrell closing in. Easton Myers trying to give it all he's got, trying to gain a position on Ryan Fowler. Here we come to 3 laps to go this time. Sean Ard trying to get his first RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series win. He's come close quite a few times, but this couldn't get any closer. Here we come to 3 laps to go. It is still a 4-car breakaway, but now the difference between Ard and Jarrell is 1/3 of a second. It is still 1/3 of a second, still a 4-car breakaway. We've got a battle for position between Aitken and Gordon. This is the battle for the 14th spot. Aitken trying to take it away from Gordon, and is going to be able to succeed in that fight. But Gordon is coming right back on the defense. But he's going to lose the spot. Maybe not. I think he's probably going to lose the spot right over here on the bus stop. Here we go. Through the bus stop. Gordon hanging tough on the outside as they come around through the corner. And it looks like Aitken is going to take the 14th position away. Here we come up at the front of the field. 2 laps to go. Who is going to be able to make it? Who is going to have to come down pit road to top off on fuel? Here we come. 2 laps to go. Sean Ard still leading the charge. He has led every single lap thus far, well, with the exception of, I believe it was lap number 8, which was led by Ryan Fowler. He was the only driver other than Sean Ard to lead a lap. But Ard has just been the class of the field. Easton Myers now starting to drop back. But we're coming to the white flag this time around through the bus stop. And now it is 0.2 of a second. Is Jarrell gonna try to make a charge? Is Ryan Fowler gonna try to risk it all and go for it? Is he gonna try to dive bomb it? Getting into turn number 1. Little bit over exaggerated for an AI race on NR 2003, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta make it interesting. Here we go! It's either go home or finish second. White flag is out. 1 final lap here at Watkins Glen. The difference is 1/3 of a second. So far, I have not seen a single car come to pit road, so it looks like everybody's going to try to risk it. We're on the last lap. Jarrell loses a little bit of ground on Sean Ard. Coming out of the S's one last time, heading towards the bus stop for the final time. Let's see what happens. Ard managing to hold his ground. Addison Jarrell closing in just a little bit. It's going to come down to these final 2 corners. Is Jarrell going to be able to get Sean Ard in this final left-hander or into this final corner? One last shot. And is not going to be able to take it. Here we come off the final corner. It's been a long time coming, but you finally got it. Sean Ard is an RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series winner. Wow, Sean Ard It took him 7 races. But he finally got this long-awaited RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series win. How about that for Sean Ard? He's been the class of the field. He's claimed every single bonus point that there is. He's claimed that 1 bonus point for leading a lap, the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps, and most importantly, those 10 bonus points for winning the race. He'll obviously get 34 points, obviously, but he'll get 10 more bonus points for winning. Man, oh man, wow. And this is a very interesting finishing order. The 88, the 98, the 78, and the 38 all finished with inside of the top 4. 3 Fords, 1 Chevrolet out of those 8s. So, it is the number 88 of Sean Ard, the victor. Addison Jarrell coming home in 2nd. Then it is Ryan Fowler who finishes 3rd. Easton Meyer, finishing 4th. Hogan 5th. Stephen Colon 6th. Ronald House, good run for him, finishing in 7th. Carter Joey 8th. 9th will be the number 25 of Chad Myers and Val Moscow, rounding out the top 10. As you take a look at your results from 11th through 34th, scrolling on your left-hand side. Wow. I mean, it wasn't the best road course race, I'll be honest, but for what it was, it actually was not too bad. Not as bad as what I initially thought it was going to be, but, you know, everybody kept it clean. Everybody was racing very calm. We had no cautions at all, quite obviously, because of, you know, no cautions being turned off. But everybody finished the race. Nobody smelled what the rock was cooking, and at the end of the day, it was Sean Ard. A big points day for him. Remember, as I said earlier in this broadcast, he came into this race 31st in the standings. This is going to help him substantially. He'll probably climb up maybe somewhere inside of the top 20 in the points. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but we'll have to figure that out once the point standings come up. So, man, oh man. First race of the second half of the 2021 season already officially in the books. And we only have 5 more races to go after today. Well, already now 5 races left. And we're going to have 4 after in a couple weeks' time when we go to the Kansas Speedway. We're going to be under the lights for that one on a Saturday night. So that race will be at, I believe I put it for 8 p.m. Eastern time for Kansas, so be sure to stick around. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Race number 8 next Saturday night at Kansas Speedway. It is gonna be fun, and hopefully you guys are able to tune in for that one. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. Your point standings are coming up next, and we'll see you guys at Kansas. One more time, congratulations to Sean Ard on being the victor here at the Watkins Glen International. I'll see you guys later.